Government shutdown live updates as funding bill moves to the House after Senate passage. Live by Stefan Beckett, Managing Editor, Digital Politics, https://www.cbsnews.com. Stefan Beckett is a managing editor of politics for cbsnews.com. Stefan has covered national politics for more than a decade and helps oversee a team covering the White House, Congress, the Supreme Court, immigration, and federal law enforcement. Read full bio. Read full bio. Read full bio. https://www.cbsnews.com/Caitlin Yillick. Updated on November 11, 2025, 4:20 p.m. EST. CBS News. What to know on day 42 of the government shutdown. The funding bill that would end the longest government shutdown. https://www.cbsnews.com/feature government shutdown in U.S. history is headed to the House for a final vote as soon as Wednesday after the Senate approved. www.cbsnews.com/live updates/government shutdown latest in a 60-40 vote on Monday, bringing Congress one step closer to ending the impasse. Speaker Mike Johnson told members on Monday to start returning as soon as possible in anticipation of travel delays that have snarled airports across the country. Neither chamber is in session Tuesday due to the Veterans Day holiday. The final legislation extends funding for most agencies until January 30th, while including 3 full-year funding bills for some parts of the government. House Republicans are confident that the package will clear the lower chamber. President Trump is expected to sign it, at which point the shutdown would end. Airlines were expected to cancel 6% of their flights at 40 of the busiest airports. https://www.cbsnews.com/news/list/40 airports FAA flight cancellations capacity cuts government shutdown proposed. In the U.S. on Tuesday, to comply with an order, https://www.cbsnews.com/news Transportation Secretary Air Traffic Control Reduction from the Federal Aviation Administration, an increase from earlier 4% cutbacks. 3:29 p.m. House Rules Committee to meet at 6:30 p.m. On funding bill. The House Rules Committee will take up the funding bill beginning at 6:30 p.m., according to a spokesperson. The panel is the last stop for most legislation before it hits the House floor. 1:55 p.m. Democrat Adelita Grijalva to be sworn in when House returns Wednesday. Democrat Adelita Grijalva will be sworn in as a member of Congress on Wednesday when the House returns. 7 weeks after she won a special election in Arizona, House Speaker Mike Johnson said in an interview with CNN. CNN.com/125/11/10/politics/video/House Speaker Mike Johnson GOP Donald Trump government shutdown on Monday night that Grijalva will be administered the oath of office after the House gavels in and before it holds votes on a funding bill to reopen the government. The House is expected to begin voting on the package as soon as 4 p.m. Wednesday. After 7 weeks of waiting, I almost can't believe it's true, Grijalva said. https://adelitaForaz. Status 19880792394290043. Monday, lamenting that one of her first votes will be on a bill that does nothing for affordable health care for the American people. Read more here. www.cbsnews.com/Adelita Grijalva swearing House, Arizona Democrat. 12:33 p.m. Duffy says air traffic controllers should get 70% of back pay within 48 hours of shutdown ending. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy told reporters in Wisconsin that air traffic controllers who have gone without pay during the shutdown should get partial back pay relatively quickly once the shutdown is over. I believe that in this package, to reopen the government, our controllers could be paid within 48 hours of the government opening. Not all of it. I think it's a 70% payment. But they'll get a big lump sum of what they're due, which is helpful, Duffy said. They don't have to wait another 2 weeks to be paid. The federal law dealing with back pay after a shutdown says federal employees should be reimbursed at the earliest date possible after the lapse in appropriations ends. Air traffic controllers missed their second full paycheck on Tuesday. 12:17 p.m. Shutdown deal lets senators sue for $500,000 over data seizures like those in January 6 probe. A provision of the legislative package that would end the shutdown allows senators to bring lawsuits if federal law enforcement seizes or subpoenas their data without notifying them, with potential damages of $500,000 for each violation. A language, https appropriations.senate.gov/media.lbfy26 a conf PDF, appears to allow GOP senators to sue over steps that the Justice Department took during Special Counsel Jack Smith's investigation into President Trump related to the 2020 election. In October, Senate Republicans revealed https:/www.judiciary.senate.gov/press/releases/Biden FBI spied on 8 Republican senators as part of Arctic Frost investigation, Grassley Oversight reveals, an FBI document that showed investigators had obtained phone record data from 8 senators and 1 congressman for calls they made in the days before and after the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. The records were obtained pursuant to a subpoena in 2023. The bill requires service providers to alert Senate offices and the Senate Sergeant-at-Arms if federal law enforcement requests senators' data, and says a court cannot delay the notification unless the senator is the target of a criminal investigation. The bill further states, any senator whose Senate data, or the Senate data of whose Senate office, has been acquired, subpoenaed, searched, accessed, or disclosed in violation of this section may bring a civil action against the United States if the violation was committed by an officer, employee, or agent of the United States, or of any federal department or agency. The bill says senators are entitled to $500,000 for each violation of the notification provisions, and it prevents the government from invoking several types of immunity to rebut the claims. Suits can be brought up to 5 years after a senator is first made aware of a violation, and allows senators to bring suits for any instances that occurred after January 2022. The FBI analyzed the senators' call records in 2023, meaning they could bring lawsuits under the legislation. Read more here. www.cbsnews.com/news, Government Shutdown Senate Lawsuits 500K. 11:12 a.m. Shutdown deal includes $203.5 million to boost security for lawmakers. The appropriations bill in the Senate funding package that deals with congressional operations provides $203.5 million to bolster security for lawmakers. The legislation provides a total of $3.5 billion for the House and Senate's operations through September 2026, including $2 billion for the House and $1.5 billion for the Senate, according to a GOP summary. https://www.appropriations.senate.gov/imo/media/document/fy26 of the legislation. Each senator's office will receive an additional $750,000 to pay for enhanced security measures, including protective security of senators and the residences of senators at all times, irrespective of the physical location of the senators at the time, according to an accompanying statement of intent. https://www.appropriations.senate.gov/imo/media/document/pdf. The bill also provides more funds for the Senate Sergeant-at-Arms to coordinate security programs. The House Sergeant-at-Arms is directed to brief 2 House committees on new security programs within 30 days of the bill's passage. The bill provides $100 million to the House Sergeant-at-Arms for providing security for members and their families. The security boost comes amid increasing concerns about political violence and a rise in threats against lawmakers. The U.S. Capitol Police, which is tasked with protecting the Capitol complex, will receive $852.2 million under the legislation. 10:38 a.m. Military and veteran families face massive impact from government shutdown. The government shutdown continues to impact military families, as Veterans Day falls on day 42 of the funding lapse. Kathy Roth-Duquet, the founder and CEO of Blue Star Families, joins CBS News with more in the video below. 9:05 a.m. Air traffic controllers will miss second full paycheck. Air traffic controllers will miss their second full paycheck on Tuesday. It is tough when your children are asking you questions about, Dad, can we, go on vacation, or can we do this, or can we do dance, or could we do basketball? And you don't have those extra funds. It is terrible. Joe Segreto told CBS News, more than a month without pay has led to more absences among an already strained workforce, with at least 18 facilities reporting staffing shortfalls Monday evening. Employees will receive back pay once the shutdown is over. Federal law says back pay must be sent at the earliest date possible after the lapse in appropriations ends, regardless of scheduled pay dates. 9 a.m. Fetterman says Democrats who voted to end shutdown realized this has to end. Democratic Senator John Fetterman, one of 3 Democrats who consistently voted with Republicans to end the shutdown, said he thinks the 7 other Democrats who supported the final deal realized this has to end. I've been one of the very few that have been voting consistently since the beginning that it's always wrong to shut our government down, Fetterman said on CBS Mornings in an interview taped Monday. Fetterman continued that he thinks enough people collectively within the caucus agreed that we would find 8 people overall to end the stalemate, and we needed 5 more. And that's exactly what happened last night. Fetterman told CBS Mornings that he deviated from his caucus over the shutdown because we have to negotiate with Republicans since America decided to put us in the minority. 2 things must be true, that I want to make health care more affordable for Obamacare, but I also think that our government should never be held as a hostage, whether it's a Republican or it's a Democrat. It's always wrong, Fetterman said. Read more here. https://www.cbsnews.com/news. He thought he could break the Republicans and the Republicans broke him. But he did think that, Mr. Trump told Laura Ingraham. Mr. Trump said that he feels badly because I've known Chuck Schumer. Mr. Trump continued that he had never seen a politician change so much. Also, he was a pretty talented guy. He's lost his talent. Updated 8:50 a.m. House could vote on bill to reopen government as early as Wednesday afternoon. The House could start voting on the Senate-passed bill to end the government shutdown as early as 4 p.m. on Wednesday. House Majority Whip Tom Emmer told lawmakers, multiple votes are expected. If it passes, it will go to President Trump's desk. The House has been out of session since September 19th, when lawmakers passed the original continuing resolution that would have prevented the shutdown. Updated 8:50 a.m. Senate approves package to end shutdown in 60-40 vote, sending bill to the House. The Senate approved the funding package in a 60-40 vote, with 8 members of the Democratic caucus joining all but 1 Republican in favor of the bill that would end the government shutdown. The vote came on day 41 of the impasse, after a deal was reached a day earlier and 8 Democrats broke with their party to advance the measure through a key procedural hurdle. The bill now goes to the House for approval. The lower chamber, which hasn't voted since September 19th, is expected to reconvene as soon as Wednesday.